Hello and welcome to How to Lead Your Business with Peter Cox. You're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. How will you lead them? Join us for this podcast where we dive deep into business leadership. This is the podcast where business owners and entrepreneurs learn how to grow their leadership to unlock business and personal growth, empower teams and drive success. Whether you're a startup or scaling to the next level, we've got the insights, the strategies, the intellectual property you need to grow in leadership, to fuel your team and fuel your business to go to the next level. Let's get into this. Welcome to the How to Lead Your Business podcast with Coxie. Today I'm sharing a talk I did a little while ago on how to create a team of effective communicators. If you and your team are going to do anything great together, you all must be effective at communication across and between all levels of your business. Teams that are great at communicating with each other are more efficient, produce far superior results than those teams with communication issues. Strap in. I know you're going to get some great nuggets and some great rocks from today's podcast that you can apply, implement, and execute into your business and into your team. When we lead teams, when we run and own businesses, communication is a tool. It's an instrument. It's a weapon. It really can make or break the momentum of an organisation based upon whether you are an effective communicator or not as the leader and owner of the business. When we communicate effectively, we produce better results. It's really important that we have clear and engaging communication. We want clear and we want engaging communication. Out of 10, what would you give yourself for the way in which you communicate one-on-one and in a team environment? How clear is your communication? How engaging is your communication? And I'm really going to focus on the mindset that you need to have as an owner and a leader of people and teams based around clarity and engagement. When my clients bring me into their business and teams for the first time, some of the real pain points when it comes to miscommunication is that, for example, when they cast their vision, it's misunderstood. They have misalignment. They have frustration when it comes to setting clear expectations that the team don't understand what's expected of them. It's really, really important that when we lead people and we lead teams, we need to ask ourselves the question every single day, is my communication getting heard and is my communication getting through? And that's the real big word, through. Is your communication really getting through to the people and teams that you lead? A key team building communication strategy is what I call collaboration. Collaboration means winning teams work together, they interact together, they communicate together. When you look at your culture, your team environment, are your team members collaborating? And collaboration really means that you are starting to grow unity. You're creating a unified team with a collaborative communication process. Communication is an art. Effective leaders are very good at communicating one-on-one and with their teams. Communication makes the team unify and stick together. It's like a glue. If I was to ask you right now, when you look at the team that you lead, is your communication aligning that team? Do you see the team that you're leading stuck together following your vision as the leader. That's why effective communication is so important. And you've got to have the mindset, is what I'm communicating in writing and verbally, one-on-one, and to teams and groups of people, is my message really getting through? It's really important. Whatever you do will duplicate. I've used that word a lot when I lead people. Whatever you do will duplicate. So the mindset of communication is, as the leader, when I'm communicating something one-on-one or to a team, my communication, if it's getting through, that communication should start to duplicate through the organisation. So you've got to be very, very deliberate about what you communicate. Another benefit to what you duplicate is that it makes the key people you surround yourself with become more effective in how they communicate your message as the leader into the organisation that you lead. When you are multiplying communication, you are growing your culture. Winning teams are communicating effectively together. Winning teams are interacting and brainstorming together, and winning teams are aligned with the communication that's coming from the most influential leader in the organisation, which is the business owner, the head coach, or the most senior person in that organisational chart, whose responsibility is to have the mindset of communicating effectively to create momentum and to grow alignment and to grow unity, which in the end grows your culture. When it comes to the culture of communication, there are three real key parts of communicating when it comes to culture. People sharing communication. They are sharing. Number two is they're being honest with each other. You need honest communication in the culture that you're trying to create through your communication processes. And number three, you need people to graciously accept the truth. Communication, the mindset of communication, is we have to be able to say good and bad to each other and hear the truth. As long as we say good and bad to each other in a respectful manner. So it needs to be respectful, the way in which we communicate during the communication process. And over 31 years of me being involved in business, working in my own business, I've got 5 businesses I'm building, leading and growing myself right now. I have staff that work for me, working in professional sport in the National Rugby League, in Australian women's football at the World Cup, and in the National Rugby League, involved in 3 NRL premierships and 9 final series. Honest communication, accepting the truth because it's been communicated respectfully, grows a culture of respectful communication. And this is really supportive to helping you, the leader, you, the owner, you, the head coach, you, the person that's leading a team of people, to align and achieve that vision. I talk a lot about you can't build anything great on your own. What I'm talking about there is, when we have a good culture of communication, we have unity. We don't have division. What is going to create division in a team, in a business, in an organisation is gossip. Negative gossip. And there are businesses and teams that I've been in where I've really seen really disrespectful, backstabbing, negative communication. I call it de-edification. Negative gossip is what we call de-edification. Edification means you can promote anyone but yourself. But when you de-edify someone, you're going to create doubt about that person You're going to create confusion. You're going to create mistrust. And when that starts to happen, the negativity of communication within your culture is going to become more de-edifying, and it's going to hurt momentum. So you've really got to be aware of people that are creating negative communication within your culture. I've spoken a lot about communication. There are 3 clear communication styles. They are styles. And I really make sure my clients understand the 3 styles. Okay? So if we look at the communication styles right now, number 1, we have visual. Number 2, we have auditory. And number 3, we have kinesthetic. And those 3 styles come from NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. If you are not aware of NLP, I would really recommend that you go and do some research on this, because I've done a lot of reading about it. I've got clients that have actually done the courses in NLP, and it really will help you to communicate your message more effectively. For example, I'm a visual communicator. I learn through visual. But I have a staff member that is auditory. She learns through hearing. And I have someone that's kinesthetic that needs hands-on, and they can't sit there for too long and be communicated to. There's 3 ways in which people receive this type of communication. 65% of people are visual, 30% of people are auditory, and 5% of people are what we call kinesthetic. My wife, Debbie, is kinesthetic. She left school at 15 years of age. She couldn't be in a confined space and absorb information. That's why she's a kinesthetic. The way in which Debbie receives information is she needs to observe it, and then she'll go and do it. But you can't show it to her. You can't speak it to her. She's just got to observe. It has to be hands-on, and then she absorbs the communication, and she can implement and execute on whatever that communication message may be. For me, I'm visual. I need to see what is being communicated to me. I'm not auditory. So if I go to a large event and I listen to some professional speakers on a topic, I don't hear anything they say. I see what they present, and I learn from the slides. There's a real skill to understanding the 3 communication styles. So if you've got 10 people in a team, 65% of your people are going to need to see what you communicate, 30% are going to need to hear what you communicate, and 5% are going to need to observe what you do as the leader to implement what you've communicated. That's the 3 communication styles. If I was to ask you these questions, because this module 10 is about having the mindset of communication. As an owner, a leader, when we are leading people, we are in and not on the business. You can only get on the business, on your role, on your team, when you answer questions truthfully yourself as that key leader, whoever you may be. Questions like, how do you best receive information? Because if you understand how you receive information, it'll make you think better about how others receive the message that you're communicating. Do you know, when you look at the key people you surround yourself with, how they best receive information? Do you take the time to think, is my message being heard? Is it being listened to? Is my message getting through? When I listen to a message, it doesn't mean it's getting through. It doesn't mean I understand it. I've listened to your message, but did it really resonate with me? Did it inspire me? Did it motivate me? Did it align me? Did it reduce confusion, doubt? Did it give me clarity about the vision and the direction? Do I understand what's expected of me? Think about your people. Who's visual? Who's auditory? Who's kinesthetic? Communication is a tool. It's an instrument. It's a weapon. It's a secret weapon that you can use to win, to achieve the vision you've set for the business you lead, the team you lead. When you look at the way in which people receive information or the way in which we communicate with people, we can communicate with people as a team in a group setting. When you look at the way in which people are communicated to, as a leader, as the owner of the business, there's many ways in which we communicate with people. We communicate with people on the phone, which means we're not face to face and they can't see our body language. They can't see our eyes. They can't read us. We communicate with people through text messaging. We communicate with people in a group or team environment, and we communicate with people one-on-one. And I've spent a lot of time in previous modules on the power of one-on-ones. When we communicate with people on the telephone, our voice tone can be misinterpreted. When we communicate with people through SMS and texting, those messages can be misinterpreted. When we communicate with people in groups, in teams, some people feel intimidated by that environment. So are we creating an environment where it's collaborative, where they feel they won't be judged and they can grow and they can speak up and that they can add value to that meeting? And the most powerful way in which we can communicate is the power of one-on-ones. That is the number one strategy that I implement with the Leadership Dynamics process. The Leading for Growth program is all about how can I effectively communicate one-on-one? Because it's the most effective way to align and create unity and harmony and touch the hearts and spirit of the people you lead. So if I was to ask you this question, how many one-on-ones have you done? So if I ask you that, and I'm going to change colour pens here, how many one-on-ones have you done this month? There is no more powerful communication strategy than communicating one-on-one. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. When you spend one-on-one time with people, one-on-one time, they feel valued and they feel cared about. And this really can help you sculpture your communication in a very effective way as the leader, the owner, to ensure alignment and to assure you're setting clear expectations. If you look at my life today, I've done 17,000 plus one-on-ones. I'm not guessing about this strategy. I have had the opportunity to speak to millions of people at live events on leadership. I have done hundreds and hundreds of small team leadership events and communication facilitation processes with my clients. But there is nothing as effective as spending one-on-one time with people. As a leader, that's the skill I believe you've really got to grow if you want to become an effective communicator to effectively lead your business and your team. I've got some questions for you. Are you truly listening to your people? Do they feel like you're hearing them? Are you willing to hear the truth from the people you surround yourself with? Sometimes as a leader, we need communication coming back to us to help us become a more effective leader, business owner. No one has all the answers. If I was to ask you this question, are your people prepared to hear the truth head on? I mean, yes, when we lead people, we need to be led up to. We need communication coming back to us as the leader, but our people also need to hear the truth about what we as the leader need from them. Sometimes I go into an organisation and there is too much expectation from the team that's being led about what they want that leader to change, but they don't want to hear what they want to change. It's got to be both ways. And that's the communication process I'm talking about, which is going to grow unity. It's going to grow collaboration by sharing and being honest and hearing the truth. That's how you're going to grow your communication culture. Are you truly listening to your people? That's a question that you need to ask if you've got the mindset of communication. Effective communication is also about the leader, the business owner, hearing what the people they surround themselves with need, aren't happy about, what they're confused about, ideas they've got to grow the team and grow the business. You need to ask yourself that question. Are you hearing what your people are really saying to you? Are you prepared as the owner, as the leader, to face the truth head on and hear the truth about you, the owner, the leader, and maybe where you can become more effective with your leadership responsibility? The third question is, when you look at the people you surround yourself with, are they willing to hear the truth head on? And those three questions that I've hit on, they are, without a doubt, sharing, honesty, and hearing the truth. It's called collaboration. That's what you need. And we are also talking about you getting clarity and you're getting engagement with the answer to those three questions. Because communication must flow up and down the chain of command. It's not just going down and it's not just going up. It's got to start with the leader, go down, and communication must also come back up to the leader. Leadership is a responsibility. The most effective leaders I know are effective communicators. If I was to ask you this, what are you duplicating? How are you leading by example? When you look at the people you surround yourself with, what actions do they take from you as the leader? I spoke about whatever you communicate will duplicate. You will grow the communication skills of the people you surround yourself with by the way in which you communicate. So this brings us to the end of month 10. Having a mindset of the importance of communication. I've had the good fortune to be in business for myself for 31 years. Right now, I'm communicating across 5 different businesses. Everything I'm sharing with you today is I'm doing it in my own life. I really hope that you can feel the authenticity of my message. I'm not trying to be a coach here. I am a business owner. People use me to lead them in their businesses. For 31 years, leadership's been my life, and I've learned to use communication as a tool, as a weapon, as an instrument to help me fulfill some of the vision, goals and dreams I had for my own life. Confusion and doubt will kill momentum. When I go into new teams, new organisations, when I see doubt and I see confusion, I straight away know I've got communication issues. So as a business owner, you must have the mindset of the importance of communication and the importance that your message isn't just being listened to, that it's getting through and that it's being aligned, it's being implemented, and that you have unity and you have collaboration, you have engagement, you have clarity with whatever you're communicating. If I was to now summarise my whole module 10, number 1, you must grow and nurture. And that's a real important word. You've got to nurture a culture of communication within your team. Number 2, I spoke about the different communication styles, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. How do team members receive information within the team that you lead? And number 3, I spoke about the power of one-on-ones. The most effective communication strategy you can bring into your business is growing your one-on-one skills so people feel listened to, valued, and heard, and it allows you to duplicate the right communication message into the hearts and minds and spirits of the people you lead, and it makes people feel valued. And you're going to get real unity when you get real good at that one-on-one process. And number 4, leading by example, your actions. You need, whatever you communicate, you've got to live it. You've got to breathe it. You've got to be the real deal. You've got to be authentic. And the team that you lead's got to see that whatever you've communicated, you're living that by your actions. It's been a real honour and a real privilege to share my thoughts on having the mindset of communication. Effective leadership requires effective communication strategies and processes and content. Your actions are going to determine how effective you are as the leader to ensure your communication is getting through. I really hope you enjoyed this communication session, and I look forward to seeing you in the near future. See you later. That's a wrap for today. Until next time, check out our online high performance team masterclass. It's got everyone talking. Hundreds and hundreds of people are using that online program now to lead their teams more effectively and to create a high performance environment. There's no assignments, no exams. It's packed full of practical strategies and resources to help you build and grow the right team in a thriving culture to drive your business forward with you. Go to leadershipdynamics.com.au for all the details. If you found value in today's episode, subscribe, leave us a review, share it with your network. I'm sharing a lot of my leadership journey, and I know it'll make a difference in your life to achieve the vision and the dreams that you have for your business and your life. Keep climbing.